Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Kassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. Today, we're going to be talking about the full moon in Aries, and this is occurring on October 9th, 2022, give or take, depending on where you're located in the world. This is a really big energy, and I wanted to get this video out a little bit sooner than I typically do. This is actually when I prefer to get videos out for the moons. It just doesn't always happen that way. But I was looking at the energies of this, kind of feeling into the chart, and I decided that I wanted to get this video out so that everyone has time to kind of prepare for these energies and see how we're building up to these energies, beginning with that new moon in Libra and then coming through full circle to this full moon in Aries. The new moons and the full moons are very much connected, and we see how often or most times we have the two opposing signs. We have the new moon in Libra, and then we have the full moon in its opposing sign of Aries. So we're working very strongly throughout this period, this cycle of the moon, with the axis of Aries and Libra. Sorry, sometimes the processor. I'm a Mercury in Taurus, so the gears turn a little bit slowly sometimes, but they definitely turn. And if any of you guys are interested in learning more about the axes of the zodiac, I actually have a class that I did for Synchronicity University going over all 6 axes of the zodiac. These are where we have these opposing signs and the way they complement and play off of each other. So that is available for purchase, and the details on how to do that are in the description box below. But we're working with this axis that is very much about identity and self. And we talked a lot in the new moon in Libra video about this energy of understanding ourselves better through our interactions and our relationships with others. And now with this full moon in Aries, there's a lot more emphasis on the energy of the self. Even during that new moon in Libra, we had that opposition with Jupiter and Aries. So we felt that Aries energy very strongly. And one of the highlights of that moon and the energy that we discussed with it was the energy of courage. And so we're really seeing that theme continuing to play out here. One of the things that I was guided to recommend to people surrounding this full moon, for those people who enjoy doing ceremonies and rituals, was to do 2 things. The first thing that Spirit was guiding us to do was to write down on little pieces of paper all of our fears and then to burn them in a fire. And the second thing that we were guided to do was to choose 3 things that scare us and to commit to doing those things, whatever those things are. And of course, this would be like things that we have a healthy fear of, whether it's putting ourselves out there in a certain way, telling somebody how we feel, of course, in a compassionate way, depending on how it is that you feel. We don't need to go into all of that. Like, you guys, you all know. But telling somebody how you feel, starting a creative project, approaching somebody with an idea, say you want to start a YouTube channel, or you want to offer your healing services in some capacity, whatever it is, 3 things that scare us, to really step outside of that comfort zone. And as we get deeper into the astrology here, we're going to talk about all the different ways that this full moon in Aries is asking us, dare I say, daring us to step outside of that comfort zone. This full moon is occurring at 16 degrees of Aries. And an interesting thing to note about this is that there is a loose conjunction with Chiron. So there's a lot of deep healing that's going to be happening during this full moon. And my train of thought here wants to go somewhere. I don't know if it's going to go. I don't know if we're going to go or not. Oh, yes. So 16 degrees is also a Cancerian degree. So we have that Cancer energy as well. So there is going to be a deep emotional aspect to this full moon. And there's a powerful healing when we are connected with Chiron. Chiron, a lot of people understand Chiron as the wounded healer. And an aspect of Chiron that's focused on a lot is the aspect of our deepest wounds. But what we sometimes leave out when we're talking about Chiron is the importance of that. Chiron shows us and teaches us our path as a healer, how it is that we can share our gift best with others. And so there is, of course, a profound level of healing that has to happen in the individual before they're able to then share that healing in whatever capacity, whether that's through their example, whether that's through offering some type of healing service to others, whatever it is. And a lot of people, I dare say the majority of people on this channel, are healers. Everybody is a healer, to get more specific about it, right? But people who really recognize and honor themselves as healers and come from powerful lineages of healing. So this is very, very relevant to us. And this full moon is really going to give us an opportunity to heal some profound wounds, especially relating to our courage, our confidence, our ability to really put ourselves out there. And that is absolutely essential when we are wanting to progress and move forward, right? The ability to put ourselves out there, to pursue our purpose, to pursue our passion. So this full moon, there's going to be a lot of healing brought around these energies and these concepts, and also around our identity, the way that we know and understand ourselves, really stepping into that and having the courage to be our true selves and express our true selves in the world. And this, of course, is the secret to finding your passion and your purpose in life, is being your authentic self, being and embracing your authentic self, and the journey of healing that occurs for each and every single one of us in the process of doing that. What else do we want to talk about with this full moon? We have the final square of Uranus and Saturn very active right now. And this has been going on since 2021. We had 3 powerful squares of Uranus and Saturn in 2021. And it's actually a video on that. So if you guys are intrigued by that, go look through the various playlists that I have. They're titled pretty well. I don't remember the titles of all of the playlists, but I know that like through possibly a slight bit of trial and error, it should be relatively easy to figure out which playlist that video is linked under. It may be under a couple. Some of them I put under a couple different playlists there so that people can find them more easily. But we went into the energies of that. We went into this energy, this push-pull between the comfort zone and the unknown, right? The known and the unknown, breaking with tradition, right? The ways that we're all being called to step forward in ways that make us uncomfortable, to really give up a level of comfort in order for that shift, that change, that new fresh energy to come in. And so we're going to be seeing possibly a final activation around that energy and anything that we've been experiencing through that energy, and really that final push where it is that we haven't fully stepped out of that comfort zone yet, but we know we're being called, where it is that we have been being called to break with tradition, to create new traditions. Remember, all of us on here, we are way showers. We came here to do things differently. We came here to go against the grain, to be the rebels. It was actually kind of cool. One of my dear friends was pointing out a video to me that I did for the 9/9 portal last year in 2021. And I had completely forgotten about this video and the things I talked about on there. But I was talking about the energy of Christ consciousness and the journey of stepping into Christ consciousness. And that's available in the Portals and Gateways playlist, by the way. I found everything that was on there very, very relevant this time around as well. And so I was talking about the story of Jesus as an ascended master and this energy of him being a rebel and him being a way shower, and how when we step into that Christ consciousness, which is how we birth this new paradigm, we're being called to be those rebels. We're being called to go against the grain, right? To do things that are unexpected, to do things that are different. And so that energy very much a part of this full moon, and really visiting where it is that we are being called to be that rebel with a cause in our own lives, where it is that we are being asked to be those way showers. Another term for way showers that some people like to use is the black sheep or the rainbow sheep, right? And one of my favorite quotes surrounding this energy is, you don't fit into this world because you came here to create a new one. All right, so that energy, very relevant as we're working with this full moon in Aries. We also currently have a grand air trine going on here. And I'm going to pull up what do we have here? Mars, Saturn, and the Sun are completing this grand air trine. So we have Mars in Gemini, we have Saturn in Aquarius, and we have the Sun in Libra. So this is a really energizing aspect. There's going to be a lot of ideas coming in, a lot of inspiration, and we're being asked to really seize that. We're being asked to channel that inspiration, to channel that forward thinking, and those new ideas that are coming through into manifested reality. And there's a strong energy of collaboration with this as well, communicating, right? Air signs are all about ideas. They're all about communicating, getting together, sharing perspectives. And this can lead to some really powerful breakthroughs for us on and around this moon. And then we're being asked to have the courage to take this inspiration, to take these inspired ideas, and to, like we said, bring them into physical manifested form. We still have as well Mars squaring Neptune, and this can be a challenging aspect. Typically, it can cause a little bit of a lower sense of motivation. We're more apt to be dreamy. We're possibly a little foggy, sometimes a little bit unclear in our actions and our thoughts. However, with this grand air trine going on and this full moon in Aries energy, all of these aspects coming together really help us to utilize some of the more positive aspects of the Mars square Neptune energy. And this is where we're receiving those downloads, we're receiving those insights. And once again, like we said, the energies constantly repeat themselves, right? We get it from many different angles to really do something with that energy. So there's a lot of inspired action. There's a real opportunity here to follow our guidance, to follow our intuition and our higher selves. And they're going to lead us into some really, really beautiful places, I think. All right, so we're going to get into the cards here. Yeah, I think I'm going to we're going to pull some Moonology manifestation cards first. See what messages we get from this deck. We may pull some dream cards too. I was feeling the dream deck. Trying to clear. Take a look there. See, sometimes I remember the timestamp if I just look while I'm doing the video. Oftentimes, not so much. All right. Clear. So, full moon in Aries. What guidance do we have? What guidance surrounding the courage to follow our dreams, right? What energies are we working with? How can we best utilize these energies? What guidance do we have surrounding anything that's holding us back? What does Spirit want to tell us in general? Okay, so first card coming out, first quarter moon in Virgo, assess the situation. So Spirit wants us to have a really clear understanding of the situation, of our resources in situations, of everything that we're working with, all the resources, all the connections that we have at our disposal. We want to really understand, especially if we're making a commitment to something, we want us to understand what we're getting ourselves into. All right, that's the first energy that I'm getting from that. We'll see what else comes out here. Go deeper, new moon in Scorpio. Okay, so what I'm feeling here as these cards come together is that there are situations in our lives right now where we've only assessed with our heads or our hearts. And this is a thing that we're learning. This is a place where we're training right now. Remember, on the 26th, we had that exact conjunction of Mercury and Venus. And we talked about how that was helping us move things from our head into our hearts. And that was right around that new moon in Libra. So there's a situation in our lives where we're stuck in either the head or the heart, and we haven't fully synthesized the two. The heart-mind coherence is still kind of coming through. And we've assessed something. What Spirit's saying is you've assessed this on the surface level, but you need to go deeper. There's more to this situation than what you see. And this could be, for instance, a situation where you're being triggered and you don't understand why, where you're not seeing the whole picture. There's more to it. There's more significance. This could just be a situation where you've sort of dismissed it as unimportant, but there's something important for you to learn, and Spirit doesn't want you to miss the thing that you're meant to learn from this situation, from this relationship, from this job, from this whatever. Spirit doesn't want you to miss the point, because then you're just going to end up in a different situation where you're learning the same lesson. So there's something where you're being asked to look deeper, look below the surface, because things are not completely what they seem. We have keep your heart open, first quarter moon in Libra. Yeah, so for a lot of people, right, with this Virgo energy, Virgo is ruled by Mercury, a very analytical sign, right? It's more being stuck in the head, analyzing something from the head and not from the heart. For some people, I feel like there's maybe a decision, a choice that you have to make. And you're being guided to abandon. I feel like some people, it's like you've been mulling this over and over in your mind for a really long time now. And you have not come to a conclusion. You have not come to a decision. And Spirit's saying suspend the mind for a little while and go deeper into the heart. Because the heart holds the answer that you're looking for. You really want to embrace this heart energy. And for some people, it's like the way to your heart is through your emotions. Virgo is an energy that sometimes likes to lock away the emotions, right? To prioritize them. As a Virgo moon, I understand this very well. It's more about analyzing the emotions than actually feeling them. For some people, the key to getting into your heart is just allowing yourself to feel the emotions instead of filing them away. Instead of saying, okay, this one's a rational emotion, this one doesn't make sense. Or this one's a liability, this one's okay. It's learning how to go deeper, how to access the heart through the emotion for some people. And then for others, it's like you may be Scorpio energy here, right? You may be too deep in the emotion and it's time to like balance where it is that you're being run too powerfully by emotion. Balance that with the heart. All right. What else here? For some people, the choice or decision of what's being asked or required of you is to open your heart to somebody or something. I'm definitely feeling somebody for some people. And you're afraid to, it's kind of like for some people, if this is a relationship energy, it's like you've been seeing somebody or interacting with somebody, but you've kept things on more of a shallow surface level because you were afraid to go deeper, because you didn't want to give them access to your heart. But in order for this relationship to transform and continue to grow, the heart, you have to allow it to go there, or else it's just going to fizzle out. It's not going to go anywhere. And I feel like forever this is for you want it to go somewhere. You're just afraid. You or the person in question here. All right, but there's this energy is asking you. That's where your courage comes in. Is the courage to go deeper, the courage to allow somebody access to your heart. And this could be in anything. If there's anything that you're really wanting to go after, if you're afraid to allow yourself because you don't want to be disappointed. Right? When we pursue a passion of ours, in order to fully immerse ourselves in that, we have to, it's something we feel in the heart. We have to allow our heart to become invested. Then we have find a balance, which was inverted, full moon in Libra. So there's a lot of Libra energy coming out here. And then new moon in Capricorn, think it through. So we're being reminded, called back to that new moon in Libra energy that's reminding us to find that balance. Some of us are still off balance in some area of our lives right now. And we really need to, we're being called to continue to find the way to even out those scales. But really, again, this is feeling to me, as I'm talking and looking at it, it's the balance of the head and the heart again. The balance of the thought and the intuition. For some people, this has to do with also relationships where you're trying to figure out the balance of responsibility. You're trying to figure out the balance of your something within your relationship is unbalanced. Whether it's learning how to balance and prioritize the needs of your relationship with everything else, all of your other responsibilities. But Spirit's saying, find your balance first. Think things. This is like, don't react. Don't react. We're being asked to really be fully aware of our intentions and our motivations and situations. Be fully aware of the ins and outs of a situation before making a commitment or making a choice. I feel like what some of this is kind of referring to is we're at the tail end of Mercury retrograde, right? As I'm filming this, Mercury retrograde ends officially on the 1st or the 2nd of October. And then the shadow period goes until the 16th. So Mercury will be direct by the time we have this moon. However, still in the post-shadow period. And if you guys want to understand more about that, check out the Mercury retrograde video where we go into that and we talk more about the shadow period, the post-shadow period, all of that different stuff. But there's like, you've gotten this new perspective and you're really wanting to act on something. But Spirit's saying, slow down, think it through. All right? Wait until we get out of that shadow period, maybe. There's still something unbalanced in the way you're seeing a situation, or there's something that needs to be balanced out before you act. All right, anything else here? And if you do have to release some things from your life, if you do need to lighten your load, Spirit wants you to really consider what corners you're cutting. To really assess that. You know, like if I cut this out, does that then leave me imbalanced? And sometimes it's really hard as a new mom. Trust me, I know all about this energy. Sometimes there's just it's not possible to be completely balanced. So you just got to get it as close as you can. You got to prioritize what's most important, right? If I don't have time if I feel that I don't have the time, I want to say I feel because Spirit's saying there's always time. But if I feel that I don't have the time to be fully balanced in all areas of my life, what areas are most important right now, right? Because the areas of importance shift and change over time. What is right now for me, sleep is the thing that I'm valuing the most, right? My physical balance is really affecting my emotional balance. It's affecting all aspects of my life. So that's an area that I have to give extra time and focus to right now. Obviously, keeping my child alive, I have to keep extra time and focus invested in that. And then it's like, okay, so what do I do with the time that I have left, with the energy that I have left? There is a way to find a balance that works for you right now, is what Spirit's saying. Because something isn't working. With that inversion of the balance card, something isn't working. Something still is not balanced. And for some people, remember, this is the full moon in Aries. That balance is adding in more self-care. More of what you can do for yourself. More passion. More of what makes you passionate. Because the soul is out of balance. When we're not practicing self-care and when we're not following our bliss and our passion and we don't have any energy for that, any space for that in our lives, then our soul is lacking. Our soul energy is imbalanced. We got full moon in Leo. Go wild. Interesting. Let's get some more energy on that. This is that taking a risk energy. Letting yourself shine. And then we have Unleash Your Kindest Self on the bottom of the deck. Which I think kind of speaks for itself right now. Is there an area of your life where you can practice more kindness and compassion? That's what we're going to say about that. But we're going to get into this Go Wild card. And we're going to pull some Zodiac of the 108 cards here. Clear. Tell me about this Go Wild. This full moon in Leo energy. And it does, if I weren't shuffling, I would hold up. Actually, I will hold it up for you guys real quick so you can see what I'm talking about here. Clear. See how it almost looks like a portal behind him? I feel like it's actually what I'm seeing in my mind right now is like a ring of fire. You know how performers, they jump, or they, like, people who do like the extreme sports with the, what do they call the motorcycles or whatever. When they're doing like the extreme biking and stuff like that. I know there's motocross, is that what it is? Oh, some people are probably really shaking their heads at me right now. Whatever that is, where they do those leaps through the ring of fire. That's kind of like the energy that I'm seeing in my head. Ooh, and you know what's interesting about that is one of the eclipses coming up. Remember, the next after this full moon, we're getting back into those final 2 eclipses along that Taurus-Scorpio axis. And one of those, I believe, they do call the ring of fire, because of the way that the sun is almost completely obliterated except for the ring around the edge. And so we're being asked to really take a leap of faith, to be daring as we move into eclipse season. I'm noticing the cactuses on that card too. It looks like he's in the desert somewhere. Tell us more about this Go Wild card. Interesting. We have the Black Widow with grapes here. Huh. Tell me some more about this energy. People who are holding themselves back. Yeah, because of a broken heart. Because of heartbreak from the past. And this doesn't necessarily just have to be like somebody that hurt you in a romantic relationship, although for some people it definitely is. For some people it's just where you were let down in some other, where you threw your whole heart into something and it didn't work out. We're back to that energy again. Whether it was a business that you tried to start, whether it was a passion project, a relationship, whatever it was. For somebody, I feel like raising a child or something like that. Like maybe, yeah. So for somebody, this has to do with a partner perhaps that you had, or somebody's child that you threw your heart into raising, and then it was like they took that child back or something. That's a painful energy as well. Maybe somebody told you the child was yours and then told you that it wasn't later on. Maybe for somebody it was like you were caring for a family member's child and then they got better and they took that child. I don't know. But that, for some people, I'm feeling that energy too. For some people, this is a heartbreak in a relationship. Whatever it is, right? Regardless of the situation. There is something beautiful that's going to come out of this. There's some way that this situation is going to turn around. Whether it was preparing you for something better, or whether the situation itself is going to evolve into something beautiful. Let's get some more energy here. Okay, we have person of fire coming out. So this would be like a fire sign, Sagittarius, Leo, Aries. But this is also just that creative, energetic, leader kind of person energy. Then we have shooting star and white rabbit. Ooh, interesting. So this is magical energy. There's something magical that's going to happen for you. Something magical, and it's I'm being drawn to the clock. It's all happening in divine timing here. Everything, all the pain that you went through had to happen to prepare you for this. And there's a wish that's being granted here. There's some incredible luck. But it's not luck. It's happening because it's time. It's happening because it's time, but you have to make it happen. When an opportunity presents itself, do not allow yourself to get caught up in this energy and to hold yourself back because of this. All right? You have to have the courage to go for it, to go after it, to go wild, right? What is Leo energy? Leo is fire energy, right? Person of fire. It's fire energy, but it is Leo energy is charismatic. It is courageous. It puts itself out there. So you're gonna have to put yourself out there in order to embrace this opportunity, in order for the fulfillment of this wish to come to pass. So it's time to allow this energy to fade away. That ritual that I recommended at the beginning of the reading that Spirit shared with me, of writing down your fears and burning them, right? It's heartbreak, fear of being hurt again, right? Fear of being let down, fear of being betrayed, fear of being abandoned, right? All of these are the kinds of fears that whoever this is resonating for, these are the kind of fears that you're gonna write down. Fear of not being good enough. Fear of missing your calling. That's what I'm feeling for somebody. You didn't miss it. It's right on time. Oh, and even this is the 7. It's a Sagittarius, right? So there's so much fire energy. And this is an Aries card. All right. Fire, fire, fire. This is about tapping into your inner fire. Allowing that fire to be, it's like Spirit is wanting to light that fire for you, but you have to fan the flame. You have to be willing to take a risk, to open your heart, right? Yeah, it's time. Anything else here? It's your confidence and your magnetism that is going to draw this that's the divine timing. That's what needed to happen, was for you to recover that energy of confidence. Knowing that you're worth it. Knowing that a past situation, that somebody else's opinion of you does not dictate your worth. All right, somebody else's actions are not a reflection of your worth. Yeah, for some people, you're really being called. It's like to step up to in some role where you are some type of leader or trendsetter. You are somebody that people look to. Yeah. And some people you are definitely meeting where this is like relationship energy. You're definitely meeting someone. They may be a fire sign or you may be a fire sign. And it's going to be very passionate. If you're ready. Once again, the white rabbit, it's stepping into the unknown, right? Are you ready? Are you willing to go down the rabbit hole? For some reason, I was thinking of the Matrix energy too, that take the red pill, take the blue pill. I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. All right, we have the fishing pole coming out, self-reliance, exploration, reflection, capability, mentoring others. That's standing out to me. Get more on this fishing pole here. Poetry in motion. That's beautiful. And the pearl. Opening up. Also, diving deep. That's twice we've had that go deeper, dive deeper energy. All right, hidden things, layers. Yeah, somebody who has been very self-sufficient for a long time is being asked to open up. You've developed, because of these disappointments in the past, you've developed an incredible amount of self-reliance. But in some ways you have become a bit closed off and you're being called to open up again, to learn to trust again. And for some people, you may actually, this may not necessarily be that you're attracting like a romantic partner into your life. Some people may be attracting a mentor or somebody that's going to help them Remind them of the beauty that they are. Remind them of the star quality that they embody. And teach them how to open their heart again. Help them to reignite their fire. We have the gavel on the bottom of the deck, and this for me represents justice. We talk about Libra season, the energies of justice, karmic justice. All right, I do want to pull from the dream deck. I'm curious to see what cards we would have gotten here. So we're going to pull a couple dream cards, and then we may pull something else to close as well. Quantum Oracle standing out clear. Let's get a couple messages here from the dream deck regarding this full moon in Aries. Full moon in Aries. What does Spirit want us to know? Ooh, we have church, temple, mosque coming out. Recognize your spiritual authority. That empowerment energy coming through again, right? Flying. Arise and see a higher point of view. So this is that going deeper. This is seeing the things that you're missing. Gift wanted to pop out there. Okay, then we have Angel and Award coming out. Tap into your higher wisdom. Accept your well-earned praise. So there's that Leo energy coming through again, right? Leo energy knows how to accept praise. And Celebrity on the bottom of the deck. Shine like the star that you are. There's a great spiritual lesson and a spiritual uplifting here when you are able to employ that eagle vision and see things from a higher point of view. Get the whole picture. There are situations where people are being called right now to take the high road, is what it feels like. In some situations, to take the high road, to see beyond. It's like seeing beyond your emotion or your fears. Noticing this full moon is really going to show us where we have been allowing our emotions, our trauma, and our fears to run the show. And that we've been making choices based on that, whether we recognize that or not. Making choices based on our fears, based on our trauma, based on our past, the baggage that we haven't quite set down yet, that we're still carrying around with us. There's a level of spiritual empowerment that comes from taking that higher road in situations. That comes from letting go, that comes from forgiveness, right? That comes from healing. Spirit wants to show us things from a different angle. There's a powerful reward in learning how to do this. And your angels will guide you toward that. They will teach you, they will show you how to do this. This looks like a fairy. This reminds me of fairy too. So some people who have fairy guardians or connect with fae energy. It says praise here, but I'm feeling prize. There's something you've been working towards, wanting to attain, and you're going to get the vision, the shift in perspective that allows for that to come through. For some people too, it's like clear. During this full moon, something you're going to be working on is learning how to how to value yourself more, and how to accept when other people value you. There are some people who may be uncomfortable not only taking the spotlight, but like when people compliment you, they tell you good things about you. They tell you that you did a good job. It's like you don't believe them. It's difficult for you to accept that, praise. You can accept when it feels like you've done something wrong, but you have a difficulty when you've done something well, really admitting when you are thriving, when you are excelling. All right, we're going to close with a quantum oracle card for this full moon in Aries. Clear. Let's give us a closing card here for the for this full moon in Aries. Closing card, closing guidance from the quantum oracle, from the quantum field. What is our closing guidance for this full moon in Aries? What wanted to come out? Planning and action. We're really being called to make those plans and to see those plans through. Taking steps. And we do have teacher on the bottom of the deck, so this is confirming that for some people a mentor is going to be coming into your life. Or whatever situations you are going through, whatever people you are meeting, there's somebody coming into your life that's going to teach you something important. Or somebody present in your life right now that is teaching you something important. And that's where that energy of going deeper, looking deeper. Some people, it's like we've been missing the lesson, but we're finally going to get it. We're finally going to internalize it, understand it, and bring it from the head to the heart. That's for some where this teacher is already present. For some, this teacher is coming in and they're going to help you move through where you have been feeling that you're stuck. And they're going to help you remember how to take those steps. Right? It's like if you've been feeling stuck, if you've been feeling paralyzed, Spirit's saying just take that first step. Remember, we always used to say, we don't say it as often on here as we used to. I take one step, Spirit takes 10. Let Spirit take your hand. If there is a mentor, if there is somebody reaching out to you that wants to help you to continue to move forward, take that extended hand. All right? Take those steps, whatever those steps are. Those steps are going to become more clear during this full moon. And so it's whatever you're most afraid of, right? As you address, this is why Spirit wants us to work through releasing these fears, right? Because as we address these fears, the steps that we need to take become clear because they lie behind our fears. Taking the steps that are necessary, that are going to bring us forward the most profoundly into our purpose, into our passion, into what we're meant to do here on this planet, they're going to be shrouded in our fears. We're going to have to walk through our fears in order to take those steps. We're going to be stepping through those fears. And so that's what this energy is all about. That's why Spirit wants us to write down and burn that list of our fears and to commit to doing those 3 things that scare us. Taking those 3 steps, and they don't have to be huge monumental things. All right? Just take a step. Just take that first step. It gets easier the more you take, right? The momentum builds. All right, I love you guys. I appreciate you so much. I hope that you have a beautiful full moon. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, drop a comment down below and let me know. If you know somebody who would enjoy this video, go ahead and share it. If you have not yet subscribed, click the bell with the little squigglies so you get notified when more videos come out. I love you guys. I love this tribe. You are all amazing. If you feel called to donate monetarily, there are links down below to do so and a thanks button on here now. But just know that every like, every share, every subscribe, every comment is just as good as a donation. Your time, your energy, your love, that is all donation. So much of donation enough. I love you. I appreciate you. And I think I've said that like 5 times because it's so very, very true. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.